Today's podcast is presented by PodGo. PodGo is the easiest way for you to monetize your podcast, providing podcasters with a flat rate for ad space so you always know how much you get when you include an ad from PodGo. Apply today to become a member and immediately be connected with advertisers that fit your audience. That's podgo.co at podgo.co. Again, that is podgo.co. And be sure to add our podcast in the How Did You Hear About PodGo section of the application. Now, I hope you enjoyed this week's episode of This Week in Gaming.
How do, beautiful lords, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to This Week in Gaming for December 20th, 2020, where we break down the latest and greatest in the gaming industry for all of you. Manny Rowan, with me as always, man with gold mocks, Brandon May.
Hey.
Hey. How are you?
I'm doing well, man. Had a really good week of gaming and excited to talk about some crazy stuff with CyberPunk.
A lot. There's so many layers to CyberPunk.
Crazy is a special word for it.
Yeah.
It is. There's a lot going on with that game, and we're gonna go through all of it. But also joining us, as always, everyone's favorite Pokemon master, Mr. Adam Kovac.
Hey, everybody. Hope you're, obviously this comes out later, but I hope to see many of you there this Sunday. We got a biggie, and I also have some special news, which I will announce on stream.
Ooh.
Got this dope shirt from Adam, too.
The T's.
T-turtle shirt.
Okay. Gotta love
For us.
Please.
turtle. Please.
Right.
So, before we dive into the news, some housekeeping stuff for you. I'm going to mention this just because I think this episode will technically be out before the sale ends. Flash sale started this weekend on the 17th. It goes until the end of the day on Monday the 21st, which is like when this episode will be out. So, like, if you're hearing this on the 21st, 15% off your order if you do it today. If not, we have our New Year we have a New Year's sale coming. This is the sale I've been talking about the last couple of weeks. So 1/1 of 21 until January 3rd, you get 21% off all orders.
Ooh, starting the year off big.
I wonder why they chose 21%.
It's a weird number, right? Kind of random.
Doesn't make sense.
So yeah, be on the lookout for that as well. On New Year's, get your New Year started right with some cool, comfy tees or nice hoodie, keep you warm in the winter. Other than that, Twitch giveaways. Brandon.
Hi.
Hey. Hi.
Yeah, so Twitch giveaways. We still have 2 giveaways going on right now. We have one on twitch.tv/thenerdchambers. Real simple. Once we hit 250 followers, we'll be giving away a $100 PSN gift card. The one in Manny's hands if you're on the YouTube platforms. If you're on Spotify or something like that, you probably just think we're crazy because we're just talking about things you can't see. And we also have a twitch.tv/TNC Penguin giveaway going on for either the Facebook page or the Twitch channel. Once we hit 100 followers on Twitch or 500 followers on Facebook, we'll be giving away a sealed booster box of Phantom Range, and depending when that does end, maybe also a Blazing Vortex box as well. We'll see. We'll figure out when it gets there, when the time comes. We're creeping up real close. But yeah, those are the 2 giveaways we have going on right now on Twitch.
Yeah. So, twitch.tv/nerdchambers, twitch.tv/TNC Penguin. Follow us. I streamed every day this week. Kind of intentionally, because I can't stop playing CyberPunk, but that's neither here nor there.
Nah, it's here.
No, it's left.
Oh, okay, you're right.
No, I'm left. Anyways, time to get into the news. We're gonna start with CyberPunk because as I was getting prepped on for the show, there's so much going on with this game, and I'm sure all of you know all the issues that it's had on consoles by now. As even IGN, pretty famously on Twitter dropped a link for their console review for Cyberpunk, and it was a hot, steamy 4 out of 10 because of how poorly the game performs.
It's way too high.
It doesn't. All right. Well, for my experience, but I have a power PC, so I'm not going to talk anymore.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like, I I'm playing on a PS5, and the game looks great. It looks great. It really does. There are bugs that I'm sure some PC people are running into, but outside of the game, literally just crashing and blue screening and going back to my home screen, the game plays really well.
Yeah, it's never crashed once for me. Yeah.
But to the people who do have to play on the PS4 and Xbox One's point, the game looks and performs terribly, and it's tough to see that they literally just had to be like, we just didn't get a chance to polish it. We just didn't put enough time into it. And that kind of feeds into these reports that have been coming out the last day or so, that the development team has literally been going to the management side of CD Projekt Red and kind of confronting them and butting heads with them because of, this mandatory crunch and all of these things that they're doing and had to do to get this game out when they wanted to, that they said they were never going to do with the production of this game, and including forcing deadlines. The development team is basically been saying, like, we know this game wasn't ready, and we didn't do everything we wanted to do with this game, and that's why we're getting these updates, not only to fix bugs, but they're going to be adding new things to the game. One of them being New Game Plus, like they did with The Witcher 3 when it came out. A couple months later, it came out New Game Plus. That is something that's supposed to be in the works, as well as many other things.
I hope so. That was my big issue, because I did beat the game just last night, and there is no New Game Plus, and I was like, well, all right, I'm done with Cyberpunk. No point to play anymore.
How many hours did you put in roughly?
That's a great question. Probably at least 28 hours, I think, was one of the times I looked at it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So it's roughly that.
Not bad.
Yes, and a lot of people, when the game first came out, said it anywhere between 20 and 30 hours is kind of what it can take to complete the story.
Okay.
If you're not, doing gigs and doing tons of side stuff, that's kind of the time frame they gave us. With the game, I watched, I talk about him a bunch. Co Carnage is one of my favorite streamers, not just because, I enjoy his content, but he's got a very good and clear perspective on most things when it comes to games, because he's worked as a developer on his own before, and like actually studied game design and knows kind of the inner workings of it. And all the things that he talked about with the game, there's like a whole 13-minute video of him talking about the game. It was funny because I watched it right like a day or two before all these reports came out about the devs and management now butting heads, and he said, this game feels like a game that wasn't meant to come out yet, but they were kind of forced to put it out, which is unfortunate. Because you can see the great things about this game in the game world, in the depth of it, the story, the characters, but it gets bogged down by parts of the game that literally just don't feel finished. Like the whole like mini map system is kind of really terrible. Enemy AI behaviors is pretty bad. Mm-hmm. So you can tell there were a lot of things that weren't really ready, and there was apparently going to be more things added to the game world in terms of shops and things like that they never got to add. And there's a story we even talked about a good while back that they even had to remove a mechanic from the game completely during production. I can't remember what the mechanic was, but they ended up taking out an entire system in the game. So really, really unfortunate because this is a great studio that has made it what is already a really good game, but could have made it, incredible.
Yeah, I'm really glad you guys are enjoying it. I don't know. I can't get myself to turn on the game again. I've played about 4
You need to
hours.
stop buying solo player games, buddy. It's just not you, man.
I know.
It's just
It's
not
really
you.
just not. Like, I guess my problem has been I've played roughly 4 hours of the game now. And whenever I look to turn it on, I'm like, you know what? I'm going to play CyberPunk. I have played 4 hours so far, and I have not had a single moment of fun. I have not had any. And again, I get it because I'm not like in the depths of the story yet, but like I don't want to play a game for 10 hours or 8 hours before I really am invested. I want to be invested within the first couple hours. So that's been what's really killing me with it. And I do agree with Adam. I mean, story player games are just really not my thing. I guess it's just the way they're made now. A lot of them really want to have such big worlds, and if I'm not locked into your game within the first couple hours, I really don't care. And that's the problem with so many of them, like Assassin's Creed. Really cool game, but you're almost only doing tutorial or basic stuff the first like 2 hours of the game. Watch Dogs I played for 3 hours on stream, and I really didn't do anything. So I don't know. It really just loses me. But again, I'm really glad you guys are enjoying it. I've heard a lot of people are liking it. I've watched some gameplay of it. I watched Manny stream it for like an hour and a half last night. So I don't know. It's crazy though, the kind of backlash that they are getting with this game right now.
Yeah, and to get into all the issues they've been having, of course, we have the refund debacle that's been going on for at least a week now. It might even be longer than that. By now, I mentioned this in our group chat. I love that they're the development side is holding themselves accountable for the issues with the game and saying, hey, this game isn't where we wanted it to be, and you guys deserve better, and you can refund the game. However, when they said that, they hadn't actually come to terms with Xbox and PlayStation saying like an agreement to let people refund the game. And so then that became a huge deal. And people were like, now they're just making phony promises and all this. And then a day or two later, they got the agreement in place to have refunds done. And then Sony went as far as to just pull the game from the store completely. So currently you can't buy the game digitally on a PlayStation. There's no definite timeline of when that game would be back up. But yeah, that's another, little piece of the puzzle.
That's so weird. I was blown away when I saw that it was removed off PlayStation. I get it being removed off last gen's consoles, but not current gen. That's so weird.
Not on the PlayStation Store. I own a game that doesn't even really exist
Yeah.
on PlayStation.
I was seeing people putting their PS5s with CyberPunk on eBay for like $2,000 the other day.
Brandon,
Oh,
you know what? Thinking about it, you should have sold your PS4 for more. Well, you remember what game was on there that you can't ever get again?
It wasn't on that system anymore. Plus, they wiped it from all hardware, from my knowledge. But yeah, it was on my previous one prior to the Spider-Man. No, I totally agree. I could have sold my account and everything, but no.
Tough, man.
Yeah, PT was, from my knowledge, wiped off of all consoles.
That's
Yeah.
tough.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they eventually took it down. It's a bad memory of Kojima before he left. Rip Konami. So yeah, a lot of things going on with Cyberpunk this week. Outside of the refund debacle, you also had a new bug pop up, and I actually have run into this bug. Reports are just coming out the past day or two again with this one, that if your file size on your save is more than 8 megabytes, apparently it has a chance of being corrupted and not being able to be recovered. And so I logged into the game and I got a message before I read about this, before I read the reports about it. I signed into the game and I'm like, my stuff's been corrupted. I'm like, yo, if I don't have a save file in here, about to throw hands. But
if you didn't have a save file, would you have quit? Would you not have kept playing?
Oh yeah, I would have been done.
Okay.
I would have 100% been done. However, it didn't seem like any of my save files were actually corrupted, because you know, they have autosave in the game, thankfully, and they do like 10. They have 10 stacks of autosaves that kind of like just go like cycle through 1 through. It's like 0 through 9 or 1 through 9 plus 0, and it just keeps going and rewriting over the 1 through 9. So you have 10, 11, 12 save files. So even if 1 or 2 of them are getting corrupted, you know, hopefully there's enough autosaves to where it wouldn't, you know, progress you too far back. But still, like that's something that shouldn't be happening. Strictly for a file size being a certain size, that should not be happening. Like that's kind of ridiculous. Man, I'm so
Not over yet.
It's not. It's so frustrating though, because this game is great, and I love it. I haven't had like this game. There hasn't been an RPG or game world that's kind of sucked me in like this since The Witcher 3. Honestly, maybe God of War. I'd say God of War. It just doesn't have the longevity of a game like Cyberpunk or The Witcher. But it's so hard to see a game that you're excited about and that you enjoy have so many issues, because I want everyone to enjoy this game, but people can't enjoy this game equally because they didn't develop the game properly for all platforms like they said they were working on. They barely put together a game for PS4s and Xbox Ones. I mean, I don't know if you guys have looked at any of the screen grabs that are out there, but it looks like it looks like a game for like the very first 3D game ever made on like an N64. Like it looks like 007.
Yeah,
on the
it's
N64.
really bad. Like joke worthy. They should have at least released everything for like current gen and been like, yo, we ain't even ready for PS4. Don't even buy it.
Yeah, it's just it's just so weird to me that they kind of worked backwards on this. You know, the game was being made for what's now last gen consoles, and they're the ones that have the worst performance on the game. It just doesn't make sense to me. But it's sad day. The only bit of good news is that new Game Plus is coming. That's all. That's the only plus side for this.
Game with it, but you know, whatever.
Should've.
How are you gonna make a story game without New Game Plus? But you know, whatever.
You know what? It is what it is.
Fix the driving. Fix the driving. Driving's trash in that game.
Driving a car is awkward. Driving a bike though.
Bike is
awkward.
the only decent thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cars are just trash. You either have the heavy cars that can't turn at all, or you have like the muscle cars and like you barely move your stick, and all of a sudden you're doing a 360.
Yep.
Yeah. Like,
Yep.
all right, this is bad. Also,
Yeah.
money. You give a list an opportunity to buy like 25 different vehicles. Where's my money to buy that? They're not cheap.
I'm sitting.
You want me to buy vehicles? You want me to buy guns? You want me to buy augmentations?
Oh, I haven't bought a gun in the game yet. It's all shooting and looting,
some
baby.
of them because like some are legendaries, man. Cool, right?
You know what? Without actually explaining the context of it, I actually did a mission yesterday that you can. It's like a one shot like side job.
Mm-hmm.
That if you complete, it's like a contest. If you win it, you get a legendary smart assault rifle that does a lot of damage. It's kind of sick.
Oh wait, I think I know what you're talking about.
With the 6th Street gang.
No, different
Okay.
thing then. Never mind. All right.
Okay. Yeah, the one I did was with the 6th Street gang. And I just happened on it by doing I did the racing story arc with Claire.
Yeah, that was a good one.
Yeah, one of the races.
That was fun.
Yeah, one of the races were went through an area, and I just got that side job. And I'm like, I guess I'll go see what it is. I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah, lots to unpack with CyberPunk in the past week. There's going to be more coming in the future. This silver lining, if you can call it that, they have already said there's going to be major patches coming in January and February for performance issues with PS4s and Xbox Ones. So hopefully the game will be, not just presentable, but play relatively well on the systems by the time those patches come out, and everyone can just enjoy the game. So one can only hope. Next up, 2020 was a huge year for social game Among Us, taking the internet by storm. It is continuing its momentum after the reveal of the next map in the game, with a big announcement that the game is now not only available currently on the Nintendo Switch with crossplay with PC and mobile, it's coming to Xbox next year, and the game is on Game Pass for PC users right now. So if you didn't feel like spending $5 on the game and you already have Game Pass, you don't have to spend $5 on the game now. If you don't have Game Pass, just buy the game. It's cheaper than a month of Game Pass.
Yeah. I thought that was
Woo.
cool.
Yeah, no,
It's
I mean,
expanding.
as much as I stopped enjoying playing
You're
this
over
game,
it.
yeah, as over it as I can be with this game, I'm glad the developers and the studios are still doing well, and they're able to keep pushing this game as much as they can. I mean, I love seeing smaller studios succeed. So good on them. Love that it's moving to bigger consoles and moving to the console world as well fully. So yeah, super awesome for Among Us.
I love that one of the big storylines for that game during the Game Awards was that they hired a 4th employee. It's not just 3 people making the game anymore.
So proud of them.
That's
That's
funny.
a 25% increase, man.
That's 33 technically.
Well, yeah, I guess you're right. I've never been good at math, so
Hey, that's why I'm your math guy on stream.
yeah.
Quick maths. Quick, 4 plus 4.
8.
16. Wait.
Wait a minute. Wait, no, Brandon, turn the plus. Turn the plus.
Oh,
Or
there
turn
we
the
go.
X. Turn the X. Yeah.
You're right. 7.
Yeah.
All right, now
what?
for some Halo.
Go ahead, buddy.
If you
Cool.
thought Brandon's math was bad, let's talk about the Halo news.
Ooh, another week, another solemn note for Halo fans. It was announced that online support for all Halo games on the Xbox 360 will cease in December of 2021, marking the end of an era.
I guess
That's
bad news.
crazy.
Y'all got 1 year left.
Yeah, I mean, I get it.
Boy.
Also, to be fair, who's still playing on those? So.
Yeah, like, who's still on 360 at this point? Like, yeah, I can agree with you. It's just weird to think. It's more of those like, wow, the nostalgia hit. But other than that, I mean, I really hope that doesn't really affect anyone at this point. But of course, we'll see.
Wait, whoa. Are you telling me you weren't playing Jenga on the OG Halo 3 on the 360 still? Because I do it every Sunday night.
Oh yeah, I wish.
Yeah.
Aww, it's lonely.
No. Yeah. I kind of wrote that ironically. Like, it is unfortunate for people that are still enjoy those games on the 360. I guess Halo Reach fans, tough. It does make sense considering they're 2 generations in the future at this point.
Yeah.
That they're gonna kind of be shutting down online services. I mean, PlayStation 3 has kind of done that for the most part for most of their games, so it's just a matter of time. It's just sad to think. Honestly, I think the 360 and the PS3 era was probably like the biggest in terms of, getting gaming to where it's at now.
Yeah.
because I feel like because they were the first consoles to really like be a part of the social, like the online social age that we have now. You know, I think the original Xbox might have had a party chat at the tail end of its life cycle, and I think PS2 at the tail end of its life cycle. But the 360 and the PS3 were the first, the first systems to really be able to let people connect by playing games together online. So, sad. End of an era. Moving on. Just cut it right there. Just cut the whole episode right there.
Right?
Yeah. You know what? I liked it. But I had to cut through with a knife. You know, I can't just be like, well, guys, now that we're done being sad. The PlayStation blog announced the winners of its Game of the Year awards. Different than other shows or presentations, PlayStation blog awards are voted not only by like the staff but also the readers. And there's no like percentage disparity like the Game Awards has. Like the Game Awards, it's 90% panel, 10% fans. Like they just count votes. Despite that, though, The Last of Us 2 was still the big winner of the night, despite Ghost of Tsushima winning the fan vote for Game of the Year at the Game Awards. The Last of Us still won 5 or 6 awards from the PlayStation blog Game of the Year awards. It won Best Narrative. It won the accessibility features. It won Best Graphical Showcase. It won Best Soundtrack. It won Best Sound Design. It won Game of the Year. And the only award that it was one award away from sweeping the big awards, and it was Ghost of Tsushima won for Best Art Direction, which it should have. But yeah, it's tough to see. I don't want to say disappointing. It's so tough to see a game that was as good as Ghost of Tsushima not winning any major awards.
Yeah.
Because it came out right next to The Last of Us. Because that game is equally as good in pretty much every way to The Last of Us.
Just can't compete, man.
It just doesn't have the emotional connection to people like The Last of Us does.
Yeah, it had that pre-story that everybody already was like, aware of and hyped to see how it continues. So,
yeah, definitely not shocked. As I brought up last week or two, I mean, Last of Us deserved the win. It really did. Yeah, people didn't love how the game ended or maybe how the game went, but on the aspect of the gameplay, the visuals, the accessibility, everything to the game was practically perfect. So it just comes down to if you like how the story was told.
Exactly. Shout out though, there was a best new character category. Miles Morales won it.
Hey, there we go.
Spider-Man also won best PS5 game. It was over, let's see, it was over Demon's Souls, Valhalla, and Astro's Playroom. Got fourth somehow. Here's why I brought this up though, and now I kind of want to talk about it a little bit. Is they also have a most anticipated game for 2020, like next year, a category for that, and in fourth, because they do it by trophy, so they do like bronze, silver, gold, and then platinum trophies. So the platinum's the winner. The bronze trophy went to Final Fantasy 16. Silver went to Resident Evil 8. Gold went to Horizon Forbidden West, and the winner was the new God of War title, Ragnarok.
They think that'll come out in 2021?
I'm pretty sure they even said like the release window is next year for it.
Okay.
If I remember correctly.
No, yeah, I think you're right. I think 2021. You're right.
It will probably be a little bit later in 2021. I don't think it's going to be an April release like.
Oh, no way.
The first one was.
Yeah.
I'd be impressed, honestly.
If it comes out that early and they didn't show us anything at the Game Awards.
But they showed us Returnal.
Yeah.
It's coming out in March.
Okay. Yeah, I think it'll probably come out like September. September, October, if it does. It would make sense.
Yeah. Yeah. I wouldn't be surprised if it was September. I feel like Sony kind of likes having September releases because it's before the logjam of the holidays.
Yeah.
But yeah, I guess for you guys though, what's your most anticipated title for next year?
I honestly don't have one.
League of
I'm
Legends.
Yeah, right. Honestly, I can't say I'm like super hyped or excited for anything.
That's a lie. That's a lie. I can tell
hit
you,
me
Adam.
with it.
New World.
Yeah.
New World.
Yeah, I mean,
You were talking
that's
about the game
fair.
all night last night about how excited you were.
Not
Not all night.
He
Like
was.
here, I do really like New World, but I don't know, man. Like it's just lately when I try new MMORPGs, like yes, I played the crud out of like the pre-alpha, whatever you want to even call it, because now
Tech
it's an
test.
alpha. Yeah, tech test. Like I played the crud out of it, and it was very fun. And obviously, you're gonna be adding more. But the fact that I was able to play the tech test for how long was it? Week and a half, 2 weeks?
I think it ended. I think it extended. It was around 2 weeks by the end.
Yeah.
Of it.
Yeah. So the fact that I was able to play 2 weeks and get as far as I did while working and everything, so it's not like I, was on vacation or whatever. It just makes me think, late game, what is it gonna be like? Because sure, there's world events, but there's no like raids or dungeons, no
What-
instances.
What level did you get to though?
I want to say I got to 35.
Yeah, I think you did.
Isn't the max?
Max is
Isn't the-
50.
Is it 50 or 60?
Pretty sure
no,
it was
50.
50. But maybe I'm wrong. I could be wrong.
60.
60? Okay.
Yeah.
So I mean 35 out of 60. Obviously it takes longer to level as you progress, but like I don't know, man. That like as much as I loved the game and I am going to play so much of it when it comes out, it might only hold me over like 2 months.
I think.
But isn't that what most MMOs do for you?
Not really.
At least right now.
I think it does depend on the MMO, and I will agree with Adam. It does depend what the end game has to offer, if there is any true end game content. Because if the game is kind of just a grind to level 60, and then kind of just trying to level up all your weapons and crafting, and then that's kind of it, and it's just a world building, and then just world events at that point. Yeah, no, I do agree. It could get pretty boring pretty fast. I mean, see, I will agree that's usually like what Manny said for about 2 months. But the 2 month period is because Adam and I are already at max level and we're coming back to play endgame content. Endgame content alone gives us usually 2 months. So I think that's kind of the big
Because when we
difference.
first started Lord of the Rings Online, gosh, we played like 2 years straight.
Yep. About 2 years
Because we
on and off
like
all
that
the time.
game had so much between dungeons, raids, like different instances, and then also all the different class types that we
Yeah.
just had so much to build off of.
Mm-hmm.
Where this game, it's one character can do everything, so you don't need to make others. You can, but you don't need to. And then there's no instances, so that we know of.
So, I'm guessing that's what they're outside of adding new weapon classes because they really
Yeah.
needed to. I'm guessing that's what they're looking towards, but I think their big emphasis is going to be the large scale PvP is kind of closer to your end game stuff, and I think that's kind of what they're leaning towards. If they put a system in place, I think I even put this in when we did our little like overview of the tech test. If they put systems in place to where you can have longevity with that, and make it have a high replay value, I can see that being able to carry like a good amount of players for post game content. But if you got to have something in there to make it worth their while, not just like you control this territory. Your guild controls this territory. Congratulations, you can set the taxes. Like that doesn't do anything for anybody. Like
Yeah,
like
it's very minuscule.
100%. I did look into it a little bit, just real quick for the dungeon talk of it. This was back in roughly February up until June context. There are no instances, dungeons, raids currently in New World. Current PvP content is form of questing, open world events, world bosses, and group content. However, some other stuff was saying this does not say that there will not be any. So we'll see. I do agree with you, Adam. If there's not any true endgame content,
Like 2-3 months, and we'll probably be done.
yeah, and
I
never
think
play the
3
game
months
again.
is giving it more credit. Yeah. Exactly.
Unless they add that kind of content. And that, it does scare me a little bit. It does.
Yeah. So that's why I have to say, like, unfortunately for 2021, there is no like super big game for me. Like, sure, I want to play Back for Blood, and I'm gonna play it, but will it last me a long time? Probably not. Left 4 Dead didn't last me a long time. It was great to play with friends here and there, but it didn't last. I think that's really about all that I care about. You don't know about the next Call of Duty. As much as I did love this one, I still haven't played it in a while because we have all these other games to play. I'm sure I'll go back to it, but I'm not gonna say, "Woo, I'm looking forward to it."
So let me tell you, you're gonna get a kick out of Back for Blood.
I'm sure, dude. I bet it's gonna feel great. It looked great.
I was playing it a little, like right before we jumped
Oh
on.
yeah, I forgot you have the alpha.
It's a good time. It's definitely a good time.
That's good, dude. That's good.
For me, I'm not entirely sure, if I'm being completely honest. Like, Back for Blood is up on the list for sure, and I am kind of looking forward to that HUD Outlaws and Legends game. I think it's gonna be pretty fun. Also found out it's only gonna be a $30 release, which is pretty cool. The new God of War obviously looks incredible. The new Horizon game looks great. I don't think Dragon Age is going to be coming out next year, so can't really count on that one. Gotham Knights also looks fantastic. I don't know, it's tough. Far Cry 6 too. I really liked Far Cry 5, and I wasn't expecting to, so I'm probably really get into 6 too. I'm gonna say God of War though. Like, the first God of War game, and it was the first God of War game I'd ever played. I didn't even have the attachment to Kratos that people had going into this one. It was so incredibly well done, and that game and the Outer Worlds for me did a perfect job of having a game with a beefy story, but not keeping you there too long. Like, there was some optional stuff you can do in God of War that kind of added a little bit more to the playtime of it. But at the end of the day, even if you did like the little bit of side things here and there, it was like a 20 to 25 hour experience, and that's perfect. That's great. Same with Outer Worlds. Like, Outer Worlds, I think I put 25, maybe 30 hours into, and I left it feeling perfectly satisfied. Like, it didn't keep you in there too long, kind of making you do pointless things. There's a purpose to everything you were doing that impacted the world in some way. So because God of War like left such an impression on me, I gotta go with the new God of War.
This feels so weird for me to say, and kind of shout out to our buddy Zuku Zero. I think I'm looking at the list right now of all 2021 potential titles. I think Hytale might actually be the one I'm most excited for, because I think that could give, I know Adam and I, the most potential replay value on how lost him and I get in Minecraft games.
Yeah, we do.
So I mean, we don't know a whole lot about Hytale yet at this point. There's just little things here and there. But I think that one in New World could really be my two. But I think Hytale, because I do agree with Adam with a lot of points he made.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, New World's definitely up there for me too. I literally tweet every couple weeks, like, I think the most recent one was, yep, day 58, still no code. They even finally responded to me. I loved it. It was hilarious. I thought it was, I don't know. I get their side to it, where they're like, we're trying to be fair to everybody and just make it random.
Mm-hmm.
But you're telling me some schmuck could go sign up now and get a key before I do when I signed up 2 months ago for the game.
Some schmuck, Manny salty.
like I get that side to it, but at the same time, We were waiting for weeks for them to announce the next beta phase because
Oh yeah.
we found out it was going to be in November, and literally I was scrolling through their Twitter daily to find it. Finally drops, and I signed up for it right away. Never got in, haven't gotten in. But you're going to tell me, oh, it's random. Like, bro, fight me. Please.
It's funny. I did look. They actually did reply to you on your 58th day one. That's good.
Yeah. Yeah, I posted. I think did I screenshot and post the reply?
I don't think I realized it was you they were replying to at the time. I just saw the message and I was like, oh, cool. They posted something about it. That's funny. But yeah, I'm just like you guys. I'm excited. I have high hopes for it, but oh, goodness, I'm scared.
I'm not scared. I did have a good time with what I played for New World because it's for me. It's I can get it. For some reason, some games I can get into the crafting side of it, and some I can't. But that game I could really get into like the crafting, the refining of resources and things like that. Like it was a fun loop, whereas some games it just feels tedious.
Like Albion.
Yeah, Albion does feel tedious, but Albion doesn't only feel tedious. It's also like if I go to get high tier resources, I could also just die and lose everything I just got.
Yeah,
that's kind of the big sad part to it. But yeah, I think there's quite a few things I'm looking forward to in the next year. Starfield, Halo Infinite.
Yeah, I thought about saying that one, but I genuinely am way more excited for Hytale because that game I know I'm actually gonna love. Where, hey, it's so weird for me to be able to say that Hytale, a group, a community who made Minecraft servers I loved.
A game based off a mod.
Yeah, based off of like a mod. That I'm more excited about that than one of the biggest franchises ever created. Goodness.
It do be like that.
Oh man, it's been a wild ride for Halo, but yeah, it's gonna be fun. I'm super excited. And again, let us know in the comments, tweet at us, message us on Facebook, anything like that. Let us know what your most anticipated game for 2021 is. We'd love to hear from all of you, and maybe we'll talk about it next week on the show as well.
Yeah. Definitely got some more stuff coming for next year that I'm looking forward to. We're not done with the news though. We got one more pretty big story. I saved it for last because I thought you guys would really enjoy it. It's a big news for fans of Runeterra, the universe that League of Legends is in. Was casually dropped by a Riot executive on Twitter this past week. Greg Street, the Riot's VP of Intellectual Property and Entertainment, tweeted about job openings for a new project in the League of Legends universe, and when asked about it in the comments, he literally just confirmed it's an MMO.
I love that.
Woo 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 woo.
So the thing we've been asking for is finally coming to fruition. Getting a Legos MMO.
I hope it's good.
I agree. There's some things that worry me. It's a company that hasn't done an MMO. It is. I'm too worried they're going to make the combat feel like League of Legends, where I would love for it more to be an over-the-shoulder style game, like traditional MMOs, like World of Warcraft, Lord of the Rings Online, City of Heroes, so on, rather than it being like RuneScape and Albion, where you have a couple abilities to use. So I'm hoping.
In terms of the depth of skills, I had no idea. We'll see. Like, in my head though, I'm picturing it being like like camera being like over the back, World of Warcraft style camera angle.
Yeah.
Which is what I'm hoping for. But this idea can be done incredibly well and be amazing and be a fantastic game if you have the right direction for it, because you can have people just make their own Yordle.
Thank you. Thank you.
Be their own Demacian, be their own person from the void, whatever.
Yeah.
And you can literally structure it kind of like WoW did when it originally released. And you're starting areas based off of who you are. Like as a Yordle, you start in Bandle City, I think it's called, right? Because that's where Rumble's from. It's like you could start like around there, and then you have, you know, cities and all these things. Yeah, and you have all these things in between. Once you kind of hit a certain point in the game, you kind of get more towards like neutral towns that aren't just for Yordles and things like that. Like you can structure it, and it can progress really well, as long as you have the right direction for it. If you don't, then this could end up being big sad.
I will be very disappointed if they go the route of a game like, I don't know if Guild Wars does it, but Black Desert Online. You have 12 characters you get to choose from. Every single person is playing the same character. You get to customize it a little bit, but you don't have a whole lot of leeway in what you can do. Where World of Warcraft, you can be a goblin, but you can be a goblin rogue, goblin hunter, goblin yada yada, like so on. That's what I hope you get to see, is that what you were saying. You get to make a Yordle or whatever other class or race is and combine them and be what you want to be. Rather than it being, oh, hey, you're going to play this MMO, this great open world, but you're going to be playing as MF, or you're going to be playing as Jinx, or this character, that character, this character. And it's going to be more of like you're choosing a League of Legends character to play in this MMO, rather than getting to create your new character in this world. So that's something I really do hope to see. Not a lot of MMOs do that, very few, but don't take the Destiny route, take the World of Warcraft route.
Yeah, exactly. I would love to see them be kind of catalysts, like quest givers, things like that.
Yes, NPCs, everything like that. Perfect.
Yeah. I would be
so
A-okay with that. I think that'd be really cool.
Mm-hmm.
I also think it would be great if you made your PvP arena be kind of like League of Legends.
Yeah, I'd be cool with that.
That'd be super cool.
Iconic, yeah.
Yeah, it'd be awesome.
Gosh, there's so much cool stuff they could do with this, and I'm just scared. Riot Games surprised us with how good Valorant was. We thought it was going to be a really crappy CSGO. It's pretty good. League is great. Runeterra, I haven't played enough. So, I mean, I don't know. I know they're following trends, but they do try to make it a little different, and I appreciate that. So, please do well.
Just do it the right way, please.
Or don't. Be yourself. Do what you want.
No, do
Flop
what
if you want.
do what I tell you, because what I tell you is gonna be great. I swear. I'm a genius. I'm a boy genius. I'm Jimmy Neutron.
All right, wow.
You okay, buddy?
Yeah, I'm just thinking about all the cool stuff that can happen with that game.
I know, and that's you see why. That's me with everything. I hear of something happening. I'm like, my brain's literally just like, oh my god. I basically just create the game in my head, and I'm like, this is what it can be, and I want it to be this. And then it just sets you up for disappointment.
Yeah.
Every time.
That's the problem.
No, but I have no reason not to trust Riot and whoever ends up, directing this game and developing it. So I'll look forward to it until I have a reason not to. But I think that's going to do it for our news this week, guys. Before we go, as always, a reminder, Spreadshirt flash sale. If you made it through this, ends today. Ends December 21st, which is technically tomorrow in our time, but it's today in your time if you're listening to this the day it releases. If not, if you aren't able to get the 15% off sale, 21% off on New Year's Day, January 1st until January 3rd. 21% off all orders. shop.spreadshirt.com/nerdchambers. If you want to make it easier on yourself, just go to thenerdchambers.com. That's our website. We have all of the things you need to know about us on there. And remember to follow us on Twitch. We have our pack openings that we do every week, every Sunday night. I've been streaming a lot of CyberPunk on there. If I, run out of things to do in CyberPunk and finish the game, I'll probably move on to something else. And we'll go from there. Anything else, guys?
No, just stay tuned for the big news that I'll be dropping tonight on stream for the Pokemon card people. If you do miss the stream, that's okay. Watch the VOD.
I think I know what that news is now. I just thought about it, and I almost
you should know.
I almost was like, oh, and I almost just ruined the news.
Do it.
I know, I won't. But yeah, we have some awesome stuff coming up for everyone. I'm super excited. We got I have all my Yu-Gi-Oh openings planned until I think April 10th ish. So we got a lot of stuff going on. It's gonna be a great couple months leading into 2021. And thank you everyone so much for supporting us through 2020. It's been one heck of a ride.
Yeah, what he said.
All right, thank you for everybody that listened in, watched the VOD of this on YouTube, all of that. If you are watching this on YouTube, remember to subscribe to our channel so you can watch everything that we post on there. If you're listening to this on Spotify or any of your other favorite podcasting platforms, be sure to follow, subscribe to us, let us know how we're doing. Love to hear from you guys. Have a incredible and merry and safe Christmas. And we'll see you guys next week.
Thank you for listening to the Nerd Chambers. Come back next week for more news you need to know.